completely unsucceeding in making the words sound like the words. This is Tell Someone. First question, of course, is from Endocom. Where is your happy place? Oh, over here. Ah! Next question, of course, from Jambi 1274. Favourite pony? Well, don't make me choose because I don't know any ponies. I don't know any ponies at all. I'm not friends with any ponies. No. Well, one pony came around to visit. Didn't come around to visit, and it wasn't quite a pony. It was this great, big, hulking... I think it was a honey-coloured Labrador. Anyway, last Sunday, I think it was, I was sitting at home trying to do something with my life, and I had the door open because it was a little stuffy. And so anyway, this great big honey-coloured Labrador comes, swanning in like it's the greatest thing in the world. Comes and goes straight into the kitchen, eats all the cat food, and then goes into the bin and eats something very, very stinky. And I can't remember what it was, but it was stinky. And then he goes out in the backyard, or she, I don't know, the big shaggy. I didn't look down there, okay? So, and then he stole a lemon, and then decided, oh yeah, you're going to throw this lemon for me. And then I threw the lemon for him or her. I'm not going to misgender. The dog is whatever the dog is. Anyway, this bitch keeps on throwing the ball at me, and I keep on throwing it back at her because I don't have a choice. The dog is this big. It's not so much a golden retriever as a cross between a golden retriever and a woolly rhinoceros. Anyway, I throw the ball. No, it was a lemon. I throw the lemon at the dog, and the dog brings it back, and then the dog brings it back, and then the dog accidentally bites too hard and gets a mouthful of lemon juice. Because it's supposed to taste like bull, it's not supposed to taste like lemon juice. And then I still can't get it out of the house, and just running around the backyard, zoomies around the backyard, and then it just sits on the floor. And and the dog finally decides to leave after having a really good time because he sees a cat out there, or she sees a cat out there, out the front, and it's my cat. And well, the cat does nothing because it's not that kind of dog. You can't just throw one of those up a tree. Next question, of course, is anyway, that would be my favourite pony because that's the only pony-looking thing that I know of at the moment. Because it's big like a pony. I mean, there are racehorses in because down the river, about 2 suburbs away doing the Melbourne Cup, but that was like yesterday or something. No, Tuesday or something. And they're not ponies. They're like this big. And some of them are dead now anyway because that always happens. The green tent always comes out for the horse that I bet on. Next question, of course, is from Reverend Dr. Joe Freddy. Do we know the result? What is the fate of the orange one? Okay, I hate to break it to you, but Donald Trump has finally killed comedy. Okay? Yeah, look. Thing is, he sucks up all the oxygen in the room. And oh yes, he said something funny. He did something funny. He didn't say something funny. He's just a rich guy who said something stupid. And when a rich guy who said something goes and says something stupid, no, you don't ignore him. You don't laugh at him. You laugh with him and give him a newspaper column or a reality TV show. And it's not just the rich guys, it's the rich girls, you know. Paris Hilton goes and makes a sex tape, and they give her $1 million reality show. And then one of the Kardashians, I don't know which one, they all look the same, but you know, one of them does it, and you know, like, oh, I'm not plagiarising anybody. It was genuinely just leaked. And then all of a sudden, she gets $1 million billion dollar reality show out of it. Oh no, except it's not a $1 billion reality show. It's just extremely well publicised. And that's what they all do. That's how Donald Trump, no, he didn't make it, well, there was the P-tape, but it wasn't released, thank God. Thank God it was released. Because I don't want to see another American president naked. I already saw that one with Reagan in his underpants. Oh no. I mentioned it, I have to play it now. Oh, if only Reagan could keep his pants on. Now you can't do parody. Now you can't do parody or satire. You know, look, the nature of satire and parody is that you make observations about a really messed up thing, and then you take the similar people and then you just amp it up a little bit. So it's ridiculous, but still within the realms of possibility. Still within the realms of possibility. You know, John Clark and Brian Dorr did it really, really well, and you know, the Yes Minister and all of them. Anyway, you take it just within the realms of possibility, and then Donald Trump came along. And not only is what he does just outside the realms of possibility, but it's not actually funny. There's no actual surprise. The target of whatever it is he's doing doesn't actually deserve it. And then everybody makes jokes about it. Oh, everybody makes lovely jokes about it. The problem is everybody makes jokes about him, and everybody has been making jokes about him. The biggest hacks make jokes about Donald Trump, and have been since David Letterman first made a joke about Donald Trump's hair in 1986. And then, oh no, jokes about Donald Trump as president? No, that was what? The Simpsons. The Simpsons 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we've still had unfunny jokes about Donald Trump. I'm pretty much... This is why I stopped making videos, like more than one video a week in 2016. This is why Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert gave up their Comedy Central shows. Because there's a lot of jokes out there, but all of them are hacky. And I tried to make videos about him. I tried to make videos about Donald Trump and all the weird and wacky stuff he was doing. I had one where I was playing a doctor and I was going about his absurd medical examination, and then I find out the doctor who did that medical examination where he had no dental issues and, what was it? He lied about his height. Anyway, it turns out that doctor was running a pill mill and now is a congressman from Texas. You see, with comedy, the target of the joke has to actually deserve it. But when Trump, with all the jokes about Trump, it's like he knows it's all absurd. He likes it. He dressed up like in a yellow suit with a bunch of people dressed up like chickens on Saturday Night Live, and he thought it was funny. He thinks it's funny that he's the center of all the world. Like Elon Musk is the center of the world and stuff. But you can't make any jokes like that anymore. You can't parody, you can't satire. I mean, you know, you think, oh, what's the most fucked up thing that Donald Trump would do? And then he goes and tries to murder the vice president using an angry mob. How could you compete with that? I mean, it's not even a funny joke. It's just frankly absurd and atrocious. And that's all they have. That's all we have. And that's all anybody is going to be talking about for the last 4 years, for the next 4 years, because it was the only thing people were talking about 4 years ago and the previous 4 years, because that's how long he was in office for. But what about the right wing? Of course, they must have cracker jokes. Yes, they must have wonderful jokes because they're riding high. Well, let's see. On the Republican National Convention, what happened was they had a comedian doing the opener. It was was somebody called Kill Tony or something. Anyway, most of his jokes really landed badly. They were all badly crafted or something. He had one joke that got any kind of laugh at all, and it went something like, okay, here's the setup. There is a patch of garbage floating around in the ocean, and it's called Puerto Rico. That was the joke. Now, let me explain comedy and kill a joke that was already dead. Right. Okay. Right? So, when you make a joke, the audience must understand the setup and enjoy the punchline. Okay? They must understand the setup and enjoy the punchline. Okay. Right? You got that right. Okay. Nobody who understands the setup would enjoy the punchline. Nobody who cares about the garbage patch in the oceans would enjoy that punchline. The whole Venn diagram looks like boobs. Okay? There's no crossover there. No crossover at all. So comedy is basically dead. And Donald Trump killed it. But I'm still going to do this thing because I've got nothing else to do on my... Oh no, it's Sunday. I really had trouble writing this, didn't I? Oh, yes, I did. Okay. Jonathan Stern asked the last question of the day. What is the worst series finale in television history and how would you change it? You're going to want me to say it was The Apprentice. No, because that was actually funny the way that it ended, because he wanted to keep on doing it when he got into office, but NBC cancelled it because he was being way too racist in his speeches. So that was actually funny. That was that was the last funny joke that anything to do with Donald Trump was ever. So it wasn't that. Let's talk about a little sitcom called Webster. It was a family sitcom where it was supposed to be just the parents, and then all of a sudden the producers found this little kid who was like 10 but looked like about 6 years old, and so they hired this kid to be the kid of this married couple who was going to be in a sitcom with them, so, just then, and it was going to be called The Parents of Whoever It Is. I don't know what it was going to be called, but it wasn't going to be called Webster. Anyway, so the parents get completely sidelined, and it's just about the kid, and the parents are like secondary characters. Anyway, the contracts just end, and the series sort of ends, and they are one show short of having enough episodes to go into syndication, which is where the gold is. Anyway, the parents don't want anything to do with it anymore. Their contracts are finished. Their contracts are finished. Nothing else to see here. They've gone home, and the sets have all been struck except for one back wall and a bed somewhere. Anyway, so what they do is on the last day before that set gets struck, they quickly shoot something where Webster is playing his video game, and all of a sudden it breaks and he gets beamed onto the Enterprise. And then what happens is that him and Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation talk for half an hour about the nature of love and family. I watched it twice. It should have been LaForge! That's it for Tell It Someone for this week. If you would like to ask me a question, then ask me a question in the question asking place below. Or you can answer this dovetail question right here. I still don't have COVID. Dovetail questions there. I'm standing here. I think I'm dangerously talented and I don't have a cool sign off. But I do this sometimes. No!